Shalom and good day all, this is Tehillim29 back again for a manga that I have recently read through video. And as you already know, you can already see something that I have actually reviewed, and that is Boruto Volume 7. But under that is one I haven't reviewed yet, and that is Volume 8. So in that you'll be getting my review for it in this video, and its rating for story and art. And as you can see in there, next to the Boruto one is a Naruto light novel, which I quite enjoyed, to be honest. As you can see here, some of the titles, we've got We Never Learn, volumes 14 and 15, some Mob Psycho, really enjoy this manga. I do need to get around to watching the anime. A lot of Dr. Stone that I've been reading through, and there's quite a number of arcs in that, so what I'll do when I reach this is I'll cover the rating for the arcs, so the first arc, second arc, third arc, so probably about 5 arcs at most in relation to the Dr. Stone, including the one arc on its own of the reboot. Then we've got the rating for, of course, this also seems to fall into its own arcs with the Radiant. Now, this is a series called through Tony Valente. And yes, it's through Viz Media, or the Shonen Jump. And I really enjoyed the series. And of course, this is something that was sort of was found on my radar. Something that had my attention for quite a while, but I never got around to reading it. And I finally found some time to read it. And now I'll be able to give a rating for both volumes. And should you happen to see the video go up for the review of Case Closed, volumes 1 to 3, before this video, I'll be sure to leave a card in the video so you can see it for yourself. If it happens to be after that, I'm going to have to apply it after the video has gone out. Well, let's get started for the rating and review for Boruto Volume 8. Well, I must admit, this story was quite interesting, slow as it may be. That's probably the biggest issue with Boruto. It's pity that it's not like Shonen Jump, like the Shonen Sundays, and it's coming out every Sunday. It is a bit of a bummer that it's sort of like coming out monthly, but there is actually another manga that I do follow that does actually come out monthly, and that's Blue Exorcist. And I do enjoy that, and for that I am willing to give the leeway for that. So if I can give the leeway for that, I should be able to give the leeway for this. This volume was actually quite good, and recently I covered a review of what happened in the anime on the Rainbow Press and Comics website, which connects to this particular story. And for it, I gave it a 7.5 out of 10, and yet for this volume, I do pretty much give it a 7.5 out of 10. I'm going to jump directly into the Kakashi story, the light novel. I really enjoyed this light novel, and if you want something to read that's still something within the Naruto Boruto universe, and you need a bit of a break from it, and you just want to read up on one of the characters and learn a little bit more about one of the characters, I would recommend picking up Kakashi's story. Because you actually do learn a lot about the character, and also learn about the things that he also institutes and puts in place, even when it leads to him, I believe, becoming Hokage. in the story as well, and that happens, I think, mid towards the end. And this is like before Naruto becomes the Hokage. So that's where it sort of takes place. With We Never Learn, this series has been absolutely great, even for a slice of life. For both volumes, an 8.5 out of 10. I both enjoyed the art as well as the story. It's going to be interesting to see how this series will end. And I'm not too sure when it's going to end, but we've sort of seen the latest volume, or having a look at the latest volume, and also something that's a little bit said in the latest volume. It feels like this series is getting ready to end. And I hope when it does actually end, they bring it out into a box set, because I could see many people enjoy this series. It might even be the next Uran type classic. Just, it's a shonen jump, not a shoujo. Mob Psycho. For this story, for this one alone, I give it an 8.5 out of 10, but I also need to get around to reading the rest of the other volumes, which I do have sitting on my shelf right now. Oh, jumping into the Stone Wars arc, which lasts pretty much around the 2 to 3 volume mark of this, and I give it a 7.5 out of 10. Moving into the next one, where they start to actually travel around the world and looking for more resources as to how to basically mass unstone everyone. For that, I give it a 7.5 out of 10. I'll jump directly to the Dr. Stone reboot, which actually centers around Senku's old man and what he sort of sees in space and what he has to do in regards to putting humanity back on track again. For that, I give it an 8.5, and I enjoyed both the art as well as the story. Moving into Radiant, oh my goodness, this is one series that I did enjoy catching up with. So, for the first 3 volumes that you see there, I'm going to give them a 7 out of 10. For the next volumes, also a 7 out of 10. And last but not least, The Devil is a Part-Timer. Now, this is something I was a little bit unsure about, but you know what, I did sort of come to like. Why? Because it's nice to laugh at how stupid the devil can be in this story. You need yourself some McDonald's. For this, I'll give it a 7.5 out of 10. And, of course, case closed, you're going to have to at least watch the review for that. Well, until then, don't forget to hit the like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Let's keep it colourful and have yourself an awesome day.